So, when you think about health supplements, your mind probably jumps straight to the price tag, right? But what if the real price you're paying has nothing to do with money? We're about to dive into a cost that's way more hidden and, honestly, a lot more serious.
Yeah, this is the number that stares you right in the face. It's that monthly hit to your bank account, that subscription fee that just keeps on coming. Over a whole year, you're talking about a serious amount of money. It's the obvious cost, the one you can actually add up on a calculator.
But here's the thing. Focusing on that number, it's kind of a distraction. It's almost like a magic trick. While we're all busy crunching the numbers on what we're spending, we could be totally blind to a risk that's, well, way more frightening. A risk that's completely hidden from view. Okay, so to really get what we're talking about, let's look at something pretty provocative. There was one study that suggested regular multivitamin users might actually have a 4% higher risk of all-cause mortality than people who don't take them. I mean, wow, that's a number that definitely makes you stop and think, right?
But hang on. Before we get lost debating this one single statistic, that's not really the point. The real reason we're bringing this up is because this number, it's like a key. It opens the door to understanding a much bigger, much more fundamental problem with how supplements are designed in the first place. So, it all starts with this core concept from toxicology called EDLD. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It just stands for effective dose and lethal dose. And the principle is simple. For literally everything you put in your body. We're talking even something as basic as water. There's an amount that works, a sweet spot, and then there's an amount where it starts to do harm. Okay, now this is where things get really interesting. Think about whole foods, like an apple or a piece of chicken. The gap between a helpful dose and a harmful dose is massive. You've got this huge safety buffer, right? But with supplements, because they're so concentrated, that safe zone just shrinks dramatically. All of a sudden, you're not walking on a wide road anymore. You're on a tightrope. And that creates a totally different kind of risk. I mean, if you go crazy and eat a whole head of broccoli one night, what happens? Nothing, really. You just maybe eat a little less the next day. Your body can handle it. But with a super concentrated supplement, crossing that line, even by a little bit, could be causing quiet, maybe even irreversible damage inside your body, and you wouldn't even know. And that is the real danger we're talking about. It's not some dramatic, obvious poisoning where you feel sick right away. Nope. It's the slow, quiet, steady buildup of harm over months or years. The kind of damage you might not feel or see until it's way, way too late to do anything about it. So, this all leads to a really obvious question, doesn't it? If this concentration is what creates the danger, then why on earth is it the entire basis for the supplement industry? I mean, why is it necessary at all?
Well, the business logic is kind of a paradox, almost like an inescapable trap. Here's how it works. For a supplement to be effective enough to sell, you have to concentrate the good stuff. But the very act of concentrating it is what shrinks that safety margin. So you see, the risk isn't just some unfortunate side effect. It's built into the very DNA of the product.
Just think about it for a second. If you took away the concentration, what would you have left? You'd have nothing special. There'd be no reason to buy it. You'd be better off just buying regular food at the grocery store. The whole reason the product exists is because of that concentration. So in a strange way, the risk is the selling point. Okay, so if we're all agreeing that the real danger here is this slow, long-term damage, then you'd assume there must be tons of long-term safety data, right? I mean, companies must have studied this stuff for decades to make sure it's safe.
Well, here's the really unsettling part. For most of these supplements, that data just doesn't exist. It's not there. Studies that go on for 10, 20 years, they're almost unheard of. So long-term safety isn't actually proven. It's just assumed. And that's a huge leap of faith. And that right there exposes the central flaw in this whole business model. There's just no real incentive for companies to spend millions on decades-long studies because they don't have to. They can sell the products right now. So by the time we ever get conclusive proof that something is harmful, think about it. The damage has already been done to who knows how many people. And this brings us full circle right back to the beginning. The money. Look. You can always cancel your subscription. You might even get a refund. But your health? You can't get a refund on your liver. You can't get a refund on your kidneys. A financial loss is one thing, but a health loss, that could be permanent.
And that completely changes the stakes of the game, doesn't it? Now, let's be super clear about this. The takeaway here isn't all supplements are evil and will kill you. That's not it at all. The real, truly scary problem is the uncertainty. It's the fact that we're taking these concentrated substances, sometimes for years and years, and for most of them, nobody, not even the experts, can say for sure what the long-term consequences are. It's that giant question mark. That's the horror. So where does that leave us? The real price of these supplements might not be what hits your wallet, but what could be happening inside your body? The risk isn't an accident. It's baked into the very design of the product. And we're all operating in the dark with a huge lack of long-term safety data. So the final question you have to ask yourself isn't, what am I spending? It's, what unmeasurable risks am I willing to take?